What is art? Is a question I had to reevaluate recently. A subchannel on my Discord server exclusively made for posting good art had to have its name changed because, well, with the constant influx of art, some of the posts became exceedingly more, how should I put it, abstract. And we had to sit down and have a bit of a discussion of what really good art even is. I've always had a preconceived notion of what good art is or what good art meant to me, but that was mainly due to my upbringing. Parents forced me to enroll in art academies and partake in art exhibits and whatnot. But with that sort of upbringing, I mostly despised art that had no meaning or merit. I recall even saying that modern art offends me because throughout my duration of creating art, I've always strived to make pieces that were meaningful or somehow expressive and just couldn't see those kinds of qualities or values in abstract, shit smeared on a canvas kind of contemporary art. But because it's such a subjective matter, I and nobody else has a proper say in what or what isn't art. So I try to change my outlook. And I think I've learned something. Thanks, Discord friends, for making me a little less bitter about art. And sorry for not uploading in a while. I've been tremendously busy lately. Right, so abstract art to me would be the same as if like a professional pianist were to smash their head on each and every key and make a horrible jumbled mess of sounds they describe as expressive, a chaotic inner self violently articulated through music. And well, shit, if you put it like that, anything can sound nice. Well, in a vague kind of way, it's not dialectically wrong. It always seemed like just pretty words strung together to give meaning to poo-poo, pee-pee, caca modern art. And because art can be so wildly expressed with words, I need to find an equally wild way of determining its worth. Instead of valuing art in its sort of technical aspects like realism, structure, or technique, ironically enough, I try to determine art's worth in a more abstract way now. And that way is usually if and or how much that art inspired me. I personally only really draw when I'm feeling inspired, so when something is so captivating or has a kind of hold on me, I want to mimic it, either in art or in music. I suppose it doesn't really matter what form it comes in, but how compelled it makes you feel to do the very same. How strong that effect has on me is how highly I regard art, or something worth as art. In a way, if someone does find something inspirational from modern art, and their feelings towards it are genuine, I can't quite complain and say otherwise. I don't want anything to do with critical, subjective evaluations regarding art. If you've read my inner monologue on Patreon, you'd know this. I've strictly kept art as a hobby and don't let it manifest into anything more than that. It's something I only do for myself, not tied down to any kind of asinine rules, deadlines, or criteria, something like a career would provide, or better yet, something a modern day schooling system would provide, the source of all killed creativity. What the hell is this video on again? Oh yes, JUNJI ITO. JUNJI ITO. So, because I assess art on how inspirational it personally made me feel, I draw whenever I'm feeling inspired. And boy, who does JUNJI ITO's bizarre and trippy illustrations provide just that. Capturing fear in art is something that takes a particular sense of malevolent awareness, I think. Making a frightful manga doesn't quite translate the same as a scary movie or what have you. It would be strange if it did. Just having spooky imagery alone isn't enough. And a lot of the times when anime or manga is trying to be scary, it combines these like dramatic, gritty, dark tones and atmosphere with these cutesy, aesthetically pleasing looking characters, and it just doesn't work out. Your brain perceives if the tone is supposed to be nicely stylized or a menacing, uneasy one. So this clash, this contrast is so overbearing that it just nullifies all feelings it aimed to achieve in the very first place. And while others may feel that Junji Ito's designs at times don't look particularly pleasing, I feel like it was all calculated. It was done by design to keep your mind in a state of concern or restlessness. Junji Ito's art is odd, and the sense of progression is even more odd. Accentuates the art brilliantly, I feel. The pacing is so gradual that, with how obscure the story becomes over time, it makes every page turn something to look forward to. The style and the story, to me, always felt like they complemented each other seamlessly to make a sincerely disturbing feeling while reading. Different art styles really does impact the narrative and the impression of the scenes. Take like a brutal scene from Elfen Lied and then compare it to a brutal scene from Genocyber. The difference is massive. Certain styles accentuate the tone to maximize the effect, while others maybe not so much. Manga like Vagabond and Berserk would typically have a wavy, weighty kind of art style to emphasize momentum and motion. And you can see this in, well, shows that aren't so combat oriented like Soil can get away with using like a tough, static, more harsh art style. It's really up to the artist to determine the balance, what style it goes with which given subject. That of which I think Junji Ito does magnificently. I'll probably make a separate video where I can just ramble on about art styles, primarily just to promote some of my favorite artists and go into more depth. But if there's any mangaka I would have to make a standalone video for, it would definitely be Junji. Art is such a personally complicated thing to try to explain that describing it in the stupidest way possible somehow makes more sense. Basically, I want to make things that make other people feel things. And this is something presumably all artists can associate with. And Junji Ito accomplished just that.